final builder space of the year. Apologies for running a bit late, just getting things set up here. But you know the drill. We're going to dive into all things Greenpill Dev Guild and recap what we've been working on within the Regen stack for the past year. So this should be a pretty fun call. Get to engage our core team in asking questions as we go along, recapping the stack, getting their feedback and perspective on things. And then after this, we have our end of year celebration. So feel free to continue joining in the festivities today. Let's get started. So what is the Greenpill Dev Guild? Many of you guys are aware, we are a community of builders. We support Greenpill chapters and Regen communities with regenerative tools, products, feedback, tech support, workshops, focus on impact reporting, capital formation allocation, and community coordination. So doing a whole gambit of things to help progress the regenerative tooling within the space. And to introduce, myself and our team. So we have a diverse team across, let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 continents. Definitely want to get more and get all the continents, even Antarctica. And we have people, Spanish, Portuguese, background French, and just a whole diverse set of people from across the globe in different languages. Myself, I'm Afo. I'm the steward of the Dev Guild. And I always tend to forget to introduce myself, but I've been building in the space for the past few years, and many of you guys know who I am, so I won't spend too much time on myself. But maybe it would be great to have the team members that we have here, Sophie and Matt, to give like a quick intro and what they do in the Dev Guild.
Yeah, sure. Well, hi everyone. To those joining, glad to see you here. I'm Sophie. I'm from Mexico, and right now I am marketing lead in the Dev Guild, also doing design stuff, um, and product design stuff too. So yeah, I don't know. Glad to be here and glad to be part of it.
Nice. Matt, do you have a crying baby or?
Nope, but I'm about to, I'm about to change a diaper and then do lunchtime. So I'm going to be off for a minute after this. But and Matt, do a little bit of community stuff with the Dev Guild, also capital management, treasury management, and just contributing wherever I can, basically.
That sounded like a whoop whoop when I was a baby.
Yeah, it was. It was like he was saying hi.
Oh no, messed up my. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Full screen again. All right, cool. We have more team members. Probably a lot of them will be hopping on as we go through the presentation. So, we'll have them chime in when they join. So, let's see. Can I get rid of that thing? There we go. So, we're going to be recapping the Regen stack. And what is the Regen stack? It's 4 layers from blockchain, protocol, social, and app layer, and creating a set of tools and primitives and protocols that connect and bind each other from the top layer down to the bottom layer, creating a way for people to interface with Ethereum at the app layer in an abstracted, easy manner and get all the benefits of the other things that underlies from the protocol and the blockchain layer. So within this, we have Green Goods, streamlined and user-friendly platform for documenting ecosystem restoration work. We have Greenpill, which is a mini app that enables the accumulation of Greenpill and refi reputation. We have the Owl Alliance, which is a community of Web3 builders and researchers addressing real-world allocation challenges. And lastly, the public staking protocol, which is focused on growing public staking, creating a regenerative revenue stream. So we're going to go through kind of Q3, Q4 in our roadmap and talk about the things that we completed, the things that we weren't able to complete. Really, honestly, I want to really commend the team for our ability to execute on a lot of these milestones for Q3 and Q4. Only a couple were we not able to fully complete, even though we did get some work done. So really good job by the team to get a lot of these goals completed. So we're going to get into the stuff from the bottom of the stack, public staking, and then go all the way up to the top of the stack. And I'm going to be showing slides from some of those presentations we've done throughout the year to contextualize, what we did to validate and grow this stack. So first we have the public good staking one-on-one workshop. So we did 2 workshops on public good staking this year. One on just introducing people to staking as a primitive for public goods, and then second, running a DApp node. So teaching people about how they could set up hardware to then enable staking and partaking in things such as Lido and ETH staking. So our theory of change when it comes to public good staking is that if regenerative individuals and communities are empowered with yield-generating infrastructure, then regens will be able to sustain their initiatives as they access more capital, grow deeper roots in the Ethereum ecosystem, own fund-generating infrastructure, and become reputable node operators with future staking opportunities. So really, we look at this around not just providing capital to public goods, but getting people to have the infrastructure so that they can have things like privacy, and then also becoming reputable and trusted operators that could then have more opportunities. So what is powering the squads, the public staking protocol? There's a few things. And first thing we'll talk about is Opal, which provides this technology that enables you to run a ETH staking validator with multiple people. So you're able to split up the risk and the need to have a 32 ETH, and then you're able to then have a squad of, let's say, 4 people, and then only 3 need to be able to be online to have a validator be fine. So it helps to create a fault tolerance and lowers risk for validating, and just creates more of a team bond and networking aspect between people and working together to have your squad up and things of that nature. So I think there's a lot of great benefits there as well. And then we have the Lido CSM, which basically lets community node operators get access to 32 ETH at a lot cheaper rate. So instead of having to provide the full 32 ETH, you just bring a bond of around 1.5 to 2 ETH. And then from there, you're able to then start staking and earning some rewards. So it's a great way to get people into staking and to start, growing a reputation, et cetera, for then future opportunities. And super shout out to Lido, who provided us the bond for our Greenpill Genesis squad, which was our first squad that we got up this year with Obo and Lido. And basically what we did with Lido is that we got a bond of about 1.5 ETH, and then from there deposited it into a key, and then Lido then deposits the rest of the ETH for our squad to start validating. So really excited to keep growing this initiative, and we have a couple more squads that are going to be onboarded. We have the European squad, as well as Nigerian squad, and then another North American squad that are going to be launched very soon. And another thing that ties into this, and want to shout out to JD from Impact Stake, is then funneling yield into other yield generating opportunities such as staking ETH, etc. And Impact Stake provides a lot of easy to use infrastructure for people to support public goods by staking. So definitely a big inspiration for a lot of the things we're looking to do within the public good staking protocol. So work he's been doing in this space. Continuing to love Octane Vault is a core primitive we want to funnel yield into and then be able to compound that yield. So we're going to be looking to set up Octane Vaults for Greenpill chapters and the guilds and the network. And want to shout out James there in particular, who presented vaults for us during our workshop, as well as being a person that we could connect to and helping to support us in getting that infrastructure set up, which we believe will become vital to attracting capital in a very low risk manner as we look to create sustainability for public goods. So we have the public good staking protocol. And yeah, our design goal, we want to build a trusted investable protocol where communities fund public goods by default when they support network security, have clear economics around how we send that yield, have a hardware support system, et cetera, and then create an outcome that when people invest in the protocol, they're also supporting public goods by design, not by afterthought. So we're just kicking things off. And if you're interested in staking as a primitive and how we could start to create sustainable yield for public goods, definitely join in the conversations. And we have a couple articles that will be dropped to start the new year that will outline the vision and kind of the architecture of the initial protocol. So in essence, what we believe the future is going towards, as the space starts to kind of go away from donating as a main primitive, is no more donating, just stake, right? You now will be asking for people to support by not giving you their funds away, but by giving you the yield that those funds generate. So that's the future we're looking to head towards. So I'll pause there and look to bring in Matt if you're able to talk real quick just about how do you feel we did this year when it came to public good staking in the protocol. And yeah, like what are you excited for 2026?
I think we did pretty good. Yeah, I think we did pretty good. It'll be nice to get. So we have the Genesis squad going, as you mentioned, European squad, and the second North American squad. So I think ideally within the next coming weeks, we'll have 3 squads. So it'll be a pretty drastically different landscape in that regard. But yeah, we got a solid crew of folks, and I think yeah, I think it came together pretty nicely from the Obel squad staking side of things, and yeah, with Vaults, I mean, we're pretty plugged in there. I think it's still fairly early. I think that there's only a USDC opportunity right now, but yeah, I mean, I'd imagine we're about as plugged in as one could be, and as the Vault opportunities continue to kind of scale from here, we'll be diving in, and yeah, as you said, onboarding all the chapters and guilds and getting a network vault going, and yeah, overall I'd say pretty good. You know, it's good to be humble and you know, keep things kind of under wraps, but yeah, I'd say pretty solid. As usual, it comes down to you know, how efficiently have we kind of how efficiently have things done in terms of like capital and time expended. So I think all in all, we're a lot smarter and we have a lot more experience. And yeah, 2026, hopefully the yield really starts to flow.
Nice. Yeah, well said. Yeah, I think it's a steady thing. It's definitely not it's just a slow burn, a slow crescendo. So
And,
yeah.
and I guess one more, so like, yeah, there was a steep learning curve with getting the DApp node set up and like getting a feel for, or yeah, getting the hardware set up and getting a feel for the DApp node software. But you know, rewind a couple months, we were like, we're struggling to get up appropriately, but you know, we crossed that threshold. We've had pretty great uptime for I think about the last month really, and I don't know. It's one of those where like, you know, everything could always break. You know, you could wake up one morning and it's like, oh crap, what's going on? Everybody's down. But presumably, we should kind of coast from this point forward. So, you know, there's a lot of reason for optimism that things are just going to progressively get easier, and that's kind of the beauty of the intellectual capital that we've been building up.
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, honestly, yeah, that's a big thing. It was the hardware, like, it's tedious. It's not like, oh yeah, just set this up. Like, it's definitely a commitment, and but I think once you go through it, like, and I feel like where we are now, like we have all our monitoring set up generally, and I just feel like we're just so much more clear on how to operate and can support others going forward. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for next year. All right, let's keep it moving. So next up, we have the Allo Alliance, and this is kind of less of a specific protocol or tool, and more of a collection of builders that are building protocols and primitives and tools. So when the year started off, the Allo Capital was kicked off or spun out of Gitcoin, and that became a shelling point for what was initially a set of Allo protocol builders. And we had done the Allo Builders Advancement Round in GG 22, I want to say. And from there, we created a little working group to kind of figure out like how could we continue to build on the Allo protocol, how could we support capital allocation mechanisms development going forward. And then even as capital allocation, what are the other parts of the stack? Capital formation, identity, reputation, impact reporting that are also very integral to supporting doing good allocation, right? So the big success I'd say is that we formed deeper ties with gardens. Three Dev Guild leads, Coy, Sophie, and myself, joined as core contributors on the gardens team. Flow State helped the setting up the Dev Guild's infra, and then the alliance was a huge success in forging deeper ties. Oh yeah, I think there's just a little bit of a typo here, and enabling a super fluid reward. So yeah, this was a really successful collaboration, and um, yeah, like really excited to keep growing with other tools in the space, and yeah, in particular with Garden and Flow State. So
And
building off the
just real
momentum,
quick,
yeah,
because I think we feel pretty strongly about this. Superfluid is really awesome, and the campaign, basically, I don't know if calling a farming campaign has kind of a negative connotation to it, but you could utilize flow state, gardens, um, recurring donations on Giveth. Like there's a handful of very public good centric things that you can do and earn sup, the sup token for doing it. So if anybody hasn't kind of looked into that ecosystem, would highly recommend it.
hmm and I think I had. Yeah, and I think like we got a little snafu with the text, but what another thing I was gonna mention here was um, how this then led to the well, yeah, I guess how it led then to the public tooling round. So I think we're good. But yeah, but in essence, because of the Allo Alliance, from there we were able to build the relationships and the trust to then be able to have Guardians and Dev Guild with Paul and myself leading the GG24 public good tooling round, which saw us, yeah, just create deeper ties between Guardians and the Dev Guild. And we allocated via conviction voting 84,000. And then we have around 50,000, depending on where the market's at, because some of it's in ETH set for retro in January. So, yeah, just really the Allo Alliance was a big springboard for then enabling the public tooling round, and really excited to keep growing the meta of the stack from impact reporting to capital formation, and really championing that as a concrete way to then build primitives and tools and a stack that could then be applied to people coming into the Ethereum ecosystem. Next, connecting from, and actually, yeah, let me pause before we go into the next layer of the stack. I know, Matt, you shared some words about things. Sophie, do you have any reflections on kind of a public tooling round, uh, Allo Alliance?
Yeah. Well, I think yeah, precisely the most valuable thing that came out of the Allo Alliance was these kinds of partnerships or collaborations. I personally feel very excited about 2026 because of these collaborations. I think um, they are like creating some opportunities where we can explore new forms of integrating with the other projects in the Allo Alliance. We already tested some, well, things and experiments like, we already tested and proved that we work together, or that we are aligned between each other. And I think the PG tooling round was one of those um, tests or evidence. So yeah, I'm really excited about 2026 too because of that. That would be my insight.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. Cool. And then let's see, what's the next? We got Greenwell next up. So, oh, a little fast. So next thing up, which is Greenwell, which um, has been a project that um, maybe hasn't had as much development as the others this year, where we, in essence, focused a lot on public good staking and green goods, which we'll talk about next. But Greenwell, I feel like, has played a really vital purpose in a very subtle way in creating a context on Greenpill stewards. And oh, Corey, can you mute yourself, please? So I think it helped in being able to provide the context window for Greenpill governance. So we use it currently in Gardens as a way to provide access control to different funding pools. And then we plan to, use it with tools like Trust Graph that are emerging, and others. So even though it hasn't been like really developed in creating like a super comprehensive badge and reputation system, it has been able to create this at least list of what are people that are aligned with Greenpill, and aligned with the ethos. So yeah, we're going to look to keep growing this going into 2026. There's plans to integrate it with green goods, and some of the things that you do there will then give you Greenpill badges. So yeah, we're really excited for this one. And yeah, before going into green goods, maybe we could talk a little bit about Greenpill and thoughts on how thoughts on how we did this year. Like it's utility, so that we did a good job, and where can we improve and grow it going into 2026. Maybe Matt, and I could bring on Coy if he wants to chime in.
Yeah, I feel like Greenville kind of was put on the back burner a little bit, but yeah, it served its purpose. We utilize it for governance within the network, and so it's definitely functional at the moment. Yeah, every time we talk about Greenville, I always think to the Google sheet that I have, where I've just been like throwing every regenerative, quasi-regenerative token, NFT, POAP type stuff. So I'm not quite sure where we go from here. Like Trust Graph, we had the builder space that was specifically about reputation. Trust Graph, I feel like, is covering the P2P attestation stuff very well. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the next step would be, or I feel like we need somebody who's going to come into the Dev Guild and like really want to run with us. But yeah, I mean, I have a decent amount of ideas of things that I think would be, high signal reputation type stuff. But it is one of those things where there's just a lot, like, if you have a very broad lens, I think I have a decent list. If you forced me to kind of come up with a more narrow lens, then I'm like, I don't know how we would do that necessarily, and I don't even know how useful it would be. So yeah, it's a tough one to determine like what the actual next steps would be. But I'm still very bullish on the basic concept. Like it would be great if we could have this tool that basically aggregates regenerative actions that are on chain, or even just like, doesn't necessarily need to be regenerative. It could be just like doing stuff on chain that's like very high signal that you should earn reputation, even if you're coming into the mix, like you're a new person, you haven't done anything within Greenpill or within whatever any other organization, but like if you have done stuff, then like it clearly means something and it should be given some weight. So I don't know, it feels like a bit of a non-answer, but yeah, it's just the reputation layer, especially when you're talking about on-chain stuff. It's complicated, and things shift so drastically.
Yeah, I think my take with Greenpill's been everything's iterative, and it's like it's to me just about growing it over time, and not trying to boil the ocean and like do too much, but just as Greenpill grows, grow it as so the things we start to value as inputs and stuff, like kind of go from there. I do see potentially like a larger thing for the space, but I just think that's just a lot to do. Like, and if we're gonna be really serious about that, we need to like just fully be focusing on that. And I don't think that'd be the case with things like
Yeah,
green
totally.
goods. So yeah. And I'll bring Coy on. Coy, you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thanks for bringing me. I had some thoughts on this. Uh, yeah, hi everyone. I'm Coy. I cannot show up right now, but maybe in some minutes, I hope. Yeah. So I was thinking about Greenwheel. I had some thoughts too about the last topic, but I will keep for me right now. But about Greenwheel, I think like reputation is a primitive that is simple. You know, it is kind of uh, human, and we do need this like continuously. So I think with Greenwheel, we did like a good job with what we need now. So we can already use. So it's not that the project is uh, in the back burner, but it's more that like we don't need to develop further right now. Like it's like Afo said, like we just need to keep evolving. And right now we have this list of people who are more active. We have already like a way to measure that. We have already like our own research about how to improve this. So yeah, that's a big win, a big win. And yeah, this is how I'm thinking about Greenville. We did the the basis, and now we can start to iterate to improve.
We do need to put together the updated uh, wallets and tiers for Prosperity Passport the upcoming season. Just throwing that out there before I forget.
Yeah, I'm not sure when the next season is, but yeah, whenever that happens. And also want to give a shout out to Nansel. He's not here on the stream, but yeah, he did a great work on creating the Genesis badge, this gift that you see here. So yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorite gifts of the year. So shout out to him for that. Yeah, let's see. Let me put the POAP up. So go ahead and claim the POAP at that URL. I'll also share my screen where you can scan the QR code and claim the POAP. So just leave that up for around 30 seconds. And yeah, shout out to Sophie who did this nice little graphic showing the stack. Oh, Nansel and Sophie, I believe, because I think Nansel created like the original version, and Sophie created this one.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly like that.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, so make sure you get your POAP. So now we're going to get into green goods. Oh, I'm not sure what I did there. Okay, you guys see my screen again. Oh, this is acting all weird on me. Just give me a second. There we go. Okay, so next we're gonna get into green goods. We got the last part of the stack, and really where we've closed the year with a ton of momentum and a ton of focus, which it's been really great to see, and really excited for what we're planning to do in 2026. So let's see. This is annoying. Why is it doing this? Okay, there we go. So green goods, the problem that we've identified within, I guess, the Regen public good space when it comes to impact reporting is that capturing impact is tedious and meticulous. A lot of times you have to work with Markdown and copy things over from multiple places, etc. Grassroots work isn't always valued and rewarded. So a lot of times work that isn't, if it's not maybe like doing something that's carbon based or that's a very clear action, but it's having a lot of value in an ecological manner and helping in other areas besides just carbon, they don't always get as valued or rewarded and get recognition. And then bioregions, which have become a better selling point to kind of focus on how we address ecological and biodiversity issues still tend to be very large, right? Tend to have very large, many people within different cities. It can even cross borders and cross into different countries. So there's a lot of different interests, and trying to coordinate all that could be difficult. So having a way to focus more on the granular level and hyper within local hubs is something that's key to us. So we'll get to the solutions that we believe address that. So with green goods, when it comes to helping with impact reporting and it being meticulous and tedious, green goods is simple, minimal, and accessible. You could access it via the browser. It only has a few tabs, and it's very clear when you get an app what you can do and how to do it. It's an on-chain protocol, so it's helping to bring these actions that people are doing, that might be around food, uh, food supplying, or around identifying plants or removing invasive species, or even just doing like workshops and different things, community engagement. Now you have a way to do that and have that data come on chain and have it be automated. And then lastly is creating these hyperlocal hubs for diverse actions so that people can scope within a bioregion, within specific areas, a set of actions that fit to their locale, and then have that manifest to the larger bioregion and start to create more concentrated areas of impact that could start to see things progressing it better. So Green Goods has 4 core features currently. We have the garden assessment and actions. We have the MDR flow, which is media detail review methodology. We have passkey integration. Let's see if I can get this bar to go away. Oh, it's still showing that. We also have automated impact reporting with Karma Gap. What is this thing? Okay, just kidding. I don't know why this thing is showing. Come on, Canva. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna go away, but Canva's being absolutely ridiculous right now. So we have gardens, assessments, and actions. So gardens are hyperlocal hubs within bioregions. Assessments serve as baselines that you do within your garden before starting to take action. And then actions are the different types of activities that you're going to be doing within your garden to then see an increase and see a growth in whatever thing you're working on, whether it's biodiversity, whether it's in a theory of knowledge and people being onboarded, etc. Okay, now this thing's really annoying me. Okay, is it gonna go away? I really don't like this thing at the bottom. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, this one away. Okay, thank God. So, what the next? Yeah, one of the other core features we've integrated into Green Goods is automated impact reporting. So, in essence, we've integrated with Karma Gap, which is becoming a leading impact reporting platform in Ethereum. And what that means now is when you create a garden in Green Goods, that creates a Karma Gap project. When you do an assessment, it creates a Karma Gap milestone. And when you take an action, do work for that action, and then get that work approved, that creates a Karma Gap project update. So this helps to abstract how you can report and interface with Karma Gap so that only people that are like admins, operators will need to manage your Karma Gap, and everybody else could report the impact in a very abstracted manner. So if you want to actually go ahead and try Green Goods, it's live. It's in a very alpha state as we are polishing it and doing QA for beta release in January. So if you test it out, probably have some bugs and some issues, but would love to get feedback and get people to start using the app and getting familiar to it. So feel free to scan that and try out the demo. I'll leave it up for a couple seconds.
May I join in this moment to talk about some stuff?
I'm almost, I will. I'll bring you in. There's one more slide after this.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully you were able to access the demo and get it download on your phone. So what are the next steps with Green Goods? We have beta QA and documentation. Like I said, we're doing internal QA. We got a grant with Arbitrum just recently to integrate hypercerts and Octave Vault. So we're going to be now tokenizing impact, where you will bundle up all the work and stuff you do within a garden, and then be able to create hypersearch for that. And then using often vaults, we're gonna take the yield that gets generated from a vault and use it to buy hypersearch shares, so creating a soft buy pressure for hypersearch. And yeah, like I said, we're going to be kicking off our 2026 beta program once we finish these above things. So yeah, now we'd love to bring in the team and kind of talk about a few things. I think Green Goods has a couple questions, or a couple things to talk about. Maybe first with 2020, just how things went in 2025. So I'll ask this to you, Corey. How do you feel we did when it came to developing Green Goods this year? And yeah, I guess yeah. So I'll ask your perspective on how do you feel, maybe from an individual standpoint, as well as how do you perceive how we did as a group?
I will start like saying about some stuff that I think it's valuable in Green Goods, and it is also a challenge for us. I think it's relevant to highlight this. It's because I think we are facing a challenge where we want to bring different uh, different solutions at the same intervention, right? We can, because the same intervention can do different things. So for example, with the app, what I think it's valuable is that we have a way for people to bring new data that is already kind of integrated with Karma Gap, and this is like very smooth process. So they don't need to have different accounts and manage different accounts. But something that I also like is that we are improving the data capture. We are improving this primitive as a whole, because the way we are building with the media review, and after that, like having uh, an approval of the just looking to the standard, we are kind of improving the data quality while collecting, you know. So it is a challenge, but I think it's possible. Like, we are making possible, we are showing that it's possible. So yeah, I just want to highlight that because this brings a kind of a certain degree of complexity when designing, but I think worth it, because it stays as a legacy for for all the ecosystem in a way. So yeah, for 2025 for me on Green Goods, I think was about community. I think and have the Dev Guild like making this uh, paying focusing attention. Like, I think these two things was crucial, like community and the Dev Guild focus focus increasing focus on Green Goods. I think with Greenwheel being like ready for us to use, and to have already like kind of more bandwidth in the project side. I think this was a good 25 was good for Green Goods because of that. We could really mature the projects on the metric side, on the stack side, right? The tech stack. Uh, we had some learnings, I guess, like about like we were using Privy before. Uh, and yeah, I think this was also a change on the perspective and the decision of like going not fully native, but trying to uh, build more our own for our own necessities, you know, our own needs. So I think this was a great signal of maturity for us, and we are ready for 26. I'm very excited with what we have with the QA. I need to do my part of the work. Nancy already reached me out, so yeah, excited for the moment we are now.
And speaking of, I think Nats will just join the stream. So I'll bring him on. if he's able to join. And if you guys are able to turn your cameras on, it'd be great, at least just for a sec or towards the end, just so that everybody can see the team and it's not not just me. But yeah, welcome, Nansel.
Yeah, hi Alfo. Hi everyone. I was actually following on YouTube about when you guys start talking about green goods. I had to jump up. But yeah, nice to be here. I don't want to talk when I'm not allowed to.
Anything you want to say on green goods?
Yeah, Koi said, this year, 2025 is a great year for green goods. I definitely agree. We did a lot this year, but focusing on green goods was definitely a good idea. I think we executed a lot with all the presentation, joining the hackathon as well, and just generally all the build as well Alpha did, and just kind of refining the ideas, also the process of doing QA and everything. Personally, I think it's definitely a very great journey. I mean, just like seeing how we can power through like a product and get all hands on was really nice to see the outcome as well. And I think it's going to get better. Like right now we're doing like an internal QA where we test things out and just make everything ready for the broader Regen space to kind of see what green goods is all about. But yeah, generally I'm just excited about the journey so far and everyone who has contributed to it.
Well said. Yeah. Matt, Sophie, any words on green goods? And it's one of our, I know it's like the core right now. So
Yeah. Well, I think green goods. Well, maybe I will talk from a different perspective, because I got to meet green goods like at the beginning of this year. Um, yeah, I think I've only been on the Dev Guild like almost for a year now, and my first like approach to green goods was through the Regenerative Stack series, the articles that Apple wrote, and then I did the infographics. Um, and it's always been to me like a very solid project. Like, um, yeah, like Koi said, it felt like more mature in some way. And I think like through the months, especially after like Q2 or something like that. Yeah, like after the first half of the year, I feel like we kind of solidified a lot of things, and also the team, and also a lot of operational inside things in the Dev Guild. So it all kind of um, went to the point where we are now. Like, okay, we have green goods and we want to focus on green goods. And we started to notice that we have all these like opportunities within the project. And then we did the Real Fi hackathon, which added like another layer of innovation that we could do in green goods. So yeah, like I've seen it evolve through the year in a really interesting way. And I'm really excited about what's to come in 2026 with green goods. We started planning on the QA and how we're going to improve the documentation and everything. So yeah, it's really exciting. And yeah, that's it from my side.
yeah, it's good to get your perspective because you've seen it really evolve, and yes,
Exactly.
that's awesome. Matt, you're the last. Anything on green goods?
Yeah, I feel like I have a similar perspective because green goods was never a project that I personally prioritized. I was always more community, and then Greenwill, and now public good staking protocol. So I was kind of looking at it from the outside in to an extent, and initially I was very much focused on, I think, biodiversity, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but beyond that, I'm like, who's going to use it? I don't know. I don't. It's nice to have kind of settled into like a very like core protocol scoped project. And it's, you know, it's tough when you're like, this is, you know, I care very deeply about the Dev Guild and I want our initiatives to succeed, but it's sometimes tough to like take yourself out of, to look at it from a third point of view, third person point of view. But yeah, like as over the last couple months, as it's actually really kind of come together a little bit, and we've started to engage with other projects and other people, seeing people who have no context kind of react to it in a way where it's like, oh, this actually kind of does make a lot of sense. This is like a very, very useful tool. It's not like very, very tightly scoped to, okay, I'm a gardener focused on biodiversity. Like, how many of those people that are Web3 are even going to care about this, to something that's like anybody doing any sort of impact reporting, which is ideally all projects within the public good space. So, you know, I kind of got a little windy with that, but yeah, no, it's nice to feel a lot more confident about it, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. And really, I think the beauty with Green Goods is that we have a network of people that, you know, could try it out, that are willing, that trust us, and, you know, not just even because of Dev Guild work, but other contexts and other things we've done in the space, that, you know, would be willing to go on this journey with us. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm even like more bullish, because if we just had the tool but like nobody to test it, and we had to, that would be okay. But it's so clear like how this could grow and spread, and even the specific things to address, such as the solar hub with Tech and Sun. That's definitely like, how do we create the actions around that, for the waste management that a lot of Cape Town's doing, Ivory Coast, I even think Luis in Brazil is doing some waste management work. How can we create a set of actions that they could all use, right, that works for their use cases? So I think we'll be able to really work and help to make this the best protocol for the people on the ground doing the different work that they're doing. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, shout out all the people that are doing the good regenerative work and providing feedback and actually using the tool. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So talking about partners and kind of our ecosystem, right? Now that we have the Regen Stack created, we're very open to engaging with you know, new partners, new people who want to work with the tools we're building and help to, you know, grow this space and bring these better tools that that are more transparent, more accessible to the mainstream. So we're knowledgeable builders, researchers, designers, across many different contexts, from environmental to social. We're strongly aligned with the Greenpill brand and ethos, and we have deep connections to the regenerative community. So we have a lot of our team is throughout the space, Cello, different ecosystems, Superfluid, Gardens, etc. So we're very much connected to the meta that's happening, as well as the opportunities that we could tap into. So if you're looking to collaborate or learn more about the space, reach out to us and we can help you. And just to highlight our partners, from Gardens, Nigeria, Greenpill Nigeria, Flowstreak in Brazil, Dow Masons, who we did grant chips rounds in the past, Unlock, which is a burgeoning new partnership where we're looking to do a integration with Greenwell and Green Goods. Of course, the network, Sylvie, which we've started off conversations and had, that's been a ever-evolving partnership. Cloudlines, Alex, who helped to support Green Goods, CFC with Evan, who we love and I hope he's doing well. Octant, which has been huge. We're in the Epoch 10 and is really providing and has been a big support in helping the Dev Guild keep growing. And yeah, and a few more that might not be listed here, but really want to shout out everybody that we've worked with over the past couple years. So thanks everybody for, you know, staying through the recap of the Regen Stack. That wasn't too bad. It looks like we have about a few more minutes left. And thanks to the team, of course. So really, huge shout out to our team, and for showing up, for staying consistent, especially the four that are here on the call, and then there's a couple others that too would fall into that. But really want to commend you guys, and I appreciate all the work you guys have done this year. We still have one more call where we're going to celebrate things. So I won't get too celebratory right now, but yeah, I just want to say my words of appreciation for you guys.
Thank you. And we have the nature sounds from Koi.
Yeah, maybe we could get our cameras on. Yeah, we could get get all of us.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
The
Matt, are
baby's
you able to
playing his
hear me?
piano over here. I don't know if he stopped playing it, but he has a piano, and one of the buttons is to make the sounds be a cat noise. So it's a lot of like piano, but play a song. Come on, buddy.
Are we gonna get Nansel or no? Maybe having camera issues. There we go.
Yeah, we got it.
Your camera's tilted, but
There you
there you go. There you go. But hey, there we go.
No gravity.
We're unique. We all from all over the world, right? Mexico, Nigeria, Brazil, New York, California. So,
Yeah.
So I think we got another call for this. So feel free to, let me get a link to that so people can join in.
Yeah, Afo, just want to say, man,
More fun. We're gonna recap here.
Yeah, I just want to say that you are the glue. I hope you know you understand the role you have as a glue. So thanks for putting it all together, man. Like really, saying thanks for being this glue and keeping us in the track, basically. So a big shout out to you.
Great. Hey, Jesus, fuck that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, here's the link. Join our end of year. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Last stream of the year. See you on the flip side. And yeah, be safe. Have a good holidays and happy New Year. Bye-bye.